We're group B29, Chloe Arwood, Ryan Jen, and Yu Wen, and we did topic 4, how plants kick-started the evolutionary drama of Earth's oxygenation. Our presentation will focus on the correlation between oxygenation and evolution. So as an introduction, the evidence that we'll be presenting is focused on the close relationship between Earth's oxygenation and early evolution. The study of fossil records is central in revealing important events in evolutionary history.
So the first period was Ediacaran period, which showed multicellular life forms. And right after that, there was a Cambrian explosion for a short period of time. And after Cambrian and some period of time passed, Devonian period occurred, which there was an introduction of diversification of vascular plants and larger predatory fishes.
The oxygenation levels over history are studied often through the concentrations of certain elements in soil samples, and the case that we'll be focusing on uses the element molybdenum to infer oxygen levels throughout history in important evolutionary time periods. Molybdenum, the element that was studied to analyze the levels of oxygenation, is redox sensitive. So in waters that lack oxygen, it is quickly reacting with other elements and is often removed from the compound. But in oxygenated waters, it tends to build up, which is why in today's oceans that are fully oxygenated, we see a buildup of molybdenum. Therefore, higher levels of molybdenum in the sediment samples indicate that there was a higher level of oxygenation from that time period. When studying these samples, as you can see in the graph, the levels were highest during two main episodes, and they're highlighted here in blue and in green. The first episode occurred approximately 550 million years ago, and oxygenation levels rose from 1.1 per mil to 1.6 per mil. And the second episode occurred approximately 430 to 390 million years ago, and oxygenation levels rose to 2 per mil, which is approaching modern levels.
So during the Ediacaran period, which was 550 to 560 million years ago, the oxygen expansion caused the radiation and resulted initial evolution of vegetarian animals. This animal's body is organized along the axis, with the half as a mirror image of the left half. So bilateral symmetry makes more efficient movement than does radial symmetry. So this was really important evolution event in that era. So this introduction of vegetarian animals is also known as Cambrian explosion. As shown in the graph as blue line right here, the MO isotopes increased by 1.4 per mil, proving the significant increase in oxygen concentration. Just send it right there. So the next pink line right here is a Devonian period. In Devonian period, there was a production of large predatory fish and diversification of vascular plants. And this is correlated to the big oxygenation in that era. It is correlated in a way that the plants produce oxygen and the dead large fish enhances the burial of organic carbon, leading to surface oxygenation. Becoming closer to the modern seawater oxygen concentration, the MO increased by 2.0 per mil from Silurian period to Devonian period, which is about this line. And as you can see, the relation of the concentration of molybdenum and the size of the animal body, it has a proportional relationship, which means the increase of molybdenum concentration causes the oxygen, not causes, but proves the higher concentration of oxygen, and the higher concentration of oxygen makes possible of bigger size of the animals.
As we've shown throughout our presentation, with this similar time overlap in oxygenation and important evolutionary events, our take-home message is that increased oxygenation is correlated with the events of significant evolution.
In the primary resource, molybdenum research or stratigraphy gives evidence that one consequence of oxygenation was increase in population of vertebrates and larger body, which was proven by predatory fish during the Devonian era, inferring how oxygenation is correlated to the introduction of new species or simply evolution. By understanding the oxygen burst era, we are able to relate oxygenation to the process of evolution and how it happened. Ultimately, evolution helps us to trace the ancestors of the species for better understanding of today's life on Earth.
This is the literature citations of the sources we used throughout our project, and that concludes our presentation.